Hi, this is Jeff from the Ozark Mountains. That's in Missouri, in the USA. A lot of our modern portable electronic devices use a lot of power, so they come with lithium rechargeable batteries inside. This is convenient, we don't have to pop a lot of batteries in there, and they generally last pretty well. But what about our older gear? Well, we don't want to hack them up and modify them to use rechargeable lithium packs. What can we do? Well, you're in luck. That's what this video is about. Let's jump right in. Thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this episode. They offer an excellent quick-turn PCB prototyping service, which now has a free upgrade to the 150-160 temperature range. They also offer a wide range of services that allow you to go from idea to a finished product, including CNC machining, 3D printing, injection molding, PCB assembly. Go on over to PCBWay.com/OEM to find out more. A few years ago, I got a PC1500, something like this one, and it came with a set of these rechargeable lithium-ion batteries in there, and I thought they were pretty slick. I started doing some research, and I thought, well, this might be the way to go to bring rechargeable lithium power to our portable vintage gear. And in testing these Thorf brand, I found out they had one fatal flaw. If you look right here at the positive end, you notice you've got the positive tip, which you would expect, but this here is negative, and that is a really bad idea. I happen to have a Model 100 or 102 like this one, where the contact spring for the positive battery contact was a little wide, and it actually contacted here and shorted the cell out and destroyed it, and the cell got hot. So these work fine, but it's not a really good design, and it just occurred to me I could put a plastic washer on the tip of this and still use these cells, so I think I'll do that. And looking at what else was available at the time, I decided to try these 10-volt cells. I've always had good luck with the 10-volt brand, and while there are various name brands of these out there, you never know what you're going to get, how accurate their advertising and specifications are. So I decided to try the 10 volts. You notice they don't have this silly 2-ring system here, just standard battery, AA type battery contacts, which is good. And, you know, it is the same size, you know, looks just like a regular alkaline AA. So no worries, it's fit in everything that I've tried so far. Now, what about recharging these lithium batteries? Well, some have a little micro USB jack right here, and they come with this, you know, octopus type cable. You can plug in 4 batteries at once and plug those into a USB port and charge them. Yeah, that didn't look like a really great idea to me. Those micro USB connectors are always problematic. I fixed so many things where those are broken from vibration. I didn't want to get into that. It just seemed like a lot of trouble waiting to happen. And fortunately, the 10 volts, they have a little charger dock like this. It's normally very easy to get open. There we go. And you can fit AA's or AAA's in this one. And it plugs into a USB port with this cable. So you just pop your batteries in there, like so. A little blue light on one end will come on saying it's charging. When the blue light goes off, it's done charging. I don't know, it takes a few hours to charge. I've never really been worried about the amount of time it takes to charge because I can plug it in and do something else. The 10 volts also come in these nifty little carrying cases, which I think is nice. So if you want to take them with you, you can pop this in your camera bag or whatever, and it keeps them nice and neat. I have also tried the AAA sized batteries in my TV remote control here. Got this thing about 20 years ago from Radio Shack. I like it a lot, but it really eats batteries. You can see I've had to make some creative modifications here to the battery holder from swapping so many batteries in and out of it. And this is going to be hard to see on camera, but the whole face of it lights up, which is why it likes to eat batteries. So I have tried the rechargeable AAAs in this guy and the AA's in this sort of vintage portable gear for more than a year now, and I found that they worked really well, but kind of that seat of the pants impression is very scientific. So I thought for the purposes of this video, we would try to get some actual quantitative test results. So I wrote a little basic program for the Model 102 here that just runs continuously about once a minute. It spits out the elapsed time to the LCD and keeps running. I put a fresh set of batteries in it and let it run until it stopped. I ran the test with a brand new set of Energizer Max, and I ran it twice with the 10 volts. Once I just took a set of these I had, recharged them and tried it. And then once they were completely flat, I recharged them and tried it again, just in case these hadn't been fully discharged in a while. Sometimes that makes a difference. So let's go ahead and we'll look at the test results that I filmed along the way. This took, I don't know, 3 or 4 days to test. It surprised me how long this 102 will last on one set of batteries. So we'll look at those test results and we'll come back and compare them. Here is our simple test program. We're simply setting time to 0-100 hours. We're going through a loop from 0 to 22,000, which is right at 1 minute, and then we're printing the time and going back in the loop. We're doing that forever until the battery dies. Now, the Model 100 and 102 are ideal for this because the backup system with a backup battery on board is really good. When the battery dies, it will save where everything's at, and when we turn it back on, we'll see the screen right where we left off. It works perfect for this. Okay, finally our rechargeable lithium batteries died. I've never been so excited to have batteries die in my life. I am going to shut the power off on this guy, plug in an external power supply here, and we will turn it on. I'll get ready to hit shift brake, and we should be able to read out on the screen how many hours it ran on that one set of batteries. Now, it did run more than 24 hours, so we're going to have 24 hours plus the number of hours shown. So I will turn it on now. There we go. Shift brake. Get it there where you can see it. So it ran 27 hours, 45 minutes, and 23 seconds. How about that? That's kind of awesome, isn't it? I did look in the manual, and they suggested about 20 hours runtime on fresh set of batteries. So I think 27, almost 28 hours is pretty good. Now, I'm going to change the program to read alkaline. If I can spell alkaline, I don't know if I spelled lithium right, I think so. And we will try the same test with those batteries and see what we get. Okay, our set of alkaline batteries finally died sometime last night. It was still running when I went to bed. So we've got our AC cord here. We'll plug it in. Back on, there we go, shift brake. So that's not 11 hours, that's 24 hours plus 11 hours. So 24, 34, 35 hours, 49 minutes. So that is a good 8 hours more than our rechargeable lithium batteries. But just to make this a little more scientific, I'm going to put the lithium back in here. I've just charged these, and we'll see how they do the second time. Okay, our rechargeable lithium batteries, test 2. Got my power cord here. I'm going to plug it in. Turn the computer off. Back on. Shift brake. So this ran for 28 hours, 29 minutes, 20 seconds. There we go. So, excuse me, 27 hours, 29 minutes, 20 seconds. So about 15 minutes less than the first time. But that's pretty accurate, pretty close. We could run more tests, but I think we're going to be within the same ballpark there. Now, the reason I wanted to run the test a second time is because on the lithium batteries, the charge controller chips kind of have a gas gauge in there. And they don't just go by the voltage of the cell. They try to keep track of the energy going in and the energy going out to figure out how much juice is left in there. So if you're on them all the way flat, it kind of resets that 0 point. So what did our test reveal? Our testing method was to use a TerraSATA Model 102. It has 24K of RAM installed, and our X Classic was installed, but it wasn't activated. But you know, that's going to draw a little more power. And we ran our basic program that we saw, which ran an infinite loop, and we printed time string to the screen about every minute. In effect, we're using the LCD as a storage device. Our testing results with our 10 volt lithium. We ran about 27.5 hours in each test. If we convert that to minutes and look at the difference between there, it is about 1.2% difference, so pretty close. But if we look at the Energizer Max alkaline batteries, that ran for close to 36 hours. So these lithium only have about 77.5% of the capacity of the Energizer. So that is going to affect our payback calculation. Now on the cost comparison, if you get the 10 volts in a 4-pack without the charger, it's about $7.75 per cell. The Energizer Max, if you buy in like a 16 or 24 pack, it's 70 cents a cell. You know, if you go down to Walmart and you buy 4, this is probably more like $1 a cell. But you know, given these prices from Amazon, the 10 volts lithium is about 11 times the cost of the Energizer Max. So it would take, accounting for the 77.5% capacity and the 11 times cost difference per cell, we would have to recharge our 10 volts about 13 times to pay for the cost difference between the cells. But since 10 volt claims there's 1,000 recharge cycles, that would be about the same amount of power as 750 AA cells. So if we look at it that way, and take $7.75 divided by 750 cells, that's an equivalent price of 10 cents per cell. So that kind of gives you an idea of the value of the rechargeable battery versus the non-rechargeable. So it takes a while to pay back the initial cost difference. But after that, you're money ahead and you're not having to, you know, throw away or recycle a bunch of dead alkaline batteries along the way. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Now you might be asking, well, what about just using NiCad or nickel metal hydride cells? Well, one problem with that is those battery chemistries are only 1.2 volts per cell. And unless the equipment is made to work with them, a lot of times it won't work properly. It'll see it as a low voltage right away and just shut down. While a lithium cell has a nominal voltage around 3.2 volts, these batteries have an internal voltage regulator to make sure they output 1.5 volts from fully charged until they're completely dead. That's great, except it means that you don't get any warning from any low voltage circuitry on the device. If your device has a separate memory backup battery like our T102 here, that's not a problem. Many pocket computers also have a separate memory backup battery. If it's something like the PC 1500 I showed before, it does not have a separate memory backup battery. So if these batteries died suddenly, it would be bad news. You'd lose everything you had in memory. So keep the benefits of using the rechargeable lithium cells and the caveats in mind when you choose if they are right for your particular application. Well, there we go. An easy lithium power upgrade for our vintage portable gear. If you've tried these types of batteries, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. I would love to see how they've worked for you. There are some applications where these might not be the best choice. Something like a smoke detector where it's going to be hanging on the ceiling for a year, a good quality alkaline battery might be a better choice there. Or a camera flash where you have a huge short-term draw. Sometimes rechargeable batteries don't do the best there, but if you've used them in those applications, let us know how they worked out for you. Any other questions or comments? Well, just hit that comment section down there below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks to everyone for supporting the Hey Birt channel through Patreon and other means. It is greatly appreciated. And until next time,